Hi everyone, my name is Jacey Anderson and I'm delighted to share a bit about my experience as a P.E.O scholar. I'm a proud Montanan, but I currently live in North Carolina, which is why I'm not with you all in person, but I'll get to that in a minute. I grew up in Missoula, where I attended kindergarten through 12th grade in the Missoula public school system. Go Grizz! Both of my parents were foresters for the Bureau of Land Management, but my dad took an early retirement in order to be a stay-at-home parent. My sister and I kept him busy by doing as many extracurricular activities as possible. For me, that included soccer, basketball, Girl Scouts, piano lessons, and a bunch of other things sprinkled in here and there. I completed all my post-secondary schooling at Montana State University, go Cats, where I earned 2 bachelor degrees, one in Spanish teaching and the other in history of science. I taught high school for a couple years in Colorado, and that's where I met my partner Josh, who just about a year ago became my husband. In 2018, I decided to return from Colorado back to Montana to MSU to pursue a PhD in history. My research project sought to tell the story of 2 river basins, one in southeastern Montana and the other in northeastern El Salvador. While it may be difficult to think of 2 places with more differences, their histories show that they actually had a lot in common. Specifically, communities in both places successfully prevented mining projects from happening. These projects would have damaged water quality and people's ways of life. I had actually never heard about P.E.O until I learned about the Scholar Award. While working on my doctorate, my advisor Molly Todd sent me information about the Scholar Award. And I didn't really dream of ever being a recipient at that point, but I was just really happy to see that there was an opportunity for substantial funding based on merit for women, who, as we all know, are still very underrepresented in academia. So my advisor, Molly, helped me edit my application to make sure it was as strong as possible. Katie Hoffman of Chapter CE answered many of my questions and shared her deep knowledge of all things P.E.O and Scholar Award. And there's no way I'd be where I am today without the support of these 2 extraordinary women. Prior to becoming a P.E.O Scholar Award recipient, my educational funding was based on my ability to hold teaching or research positions, and this was in addition to my coursework and my own research and family responsibilities. These positions required 19 hours of work per week, and they were great. I was grateful to have this work because it paid for my schooling and provided a modest living stipend. But the workload made it very difficult to find time to do my own research, especially because, as I mentioned, one of my case studies was in El Salvador, and it would be impossible to go there for an extended amount of time while also having to teach or do an additional job. Another challenge I faced prior to becoming a Scholar Award recipient was that I finished my qualifying exams and entered candidacy during the early part of the COVID-19 pandemic. Many archives were closed and travel was limited right when I was ready to begin the research for my dissertation. Receiving the Scholar Award was life-changing. It meant I could take a semester off of teaching in order to travel to El Salvador for a multi-week research trip. A trip where I was able to access archives that no other historian had seen before. And it also made it so I was able to meet with leaders of El Salvador's anti-mining campaign. Their stories were invaluable to my project. I also believe I would not hold my current position if it weren't for the P.E.O Scholar Award. So I currently serve as the inaugural Bill and Lorna Chafe postdoctoral fellow in oral history and social justice at Duke University. That's why I'm in North Carolina. In this position, I have started an oral history project with a local organization called Student Action with Farm Workers. I also teach 1 course per semester here at Duke, And I currently have 3 hired students working on the project with me. It's truly a dream job. In the future, I'd like to continue my work as a community-based research historian and create spaces for people to understand their past in order to address challenges in the present. I hope through both this type of work and through my continued commitment as an educator, I can help bring out the highest potential in others. We, especially women, often underestimate our potential. And I want to support the next generation of women leadership, just as so many have supported me. Thank you so much for inviting me to share about my experience as a P.E.O. scholar. I hope you all have a great conference.